pals, I am back with another anti-work video. In my previous anti-work video, I mentioned I would be covering the other side of the anti-work perspective, or what could even be considered the original anti-work perspective. However, that perspective currently does not appear to be the most popular, or I guess accurate way to describe or present anti-work or the subreddit specifically. So due to this, I'm just going to stick with the same theme as the last video. A lot of it is just workers' rights, fair compensation, not tolerating abuse from employers, all that fun stuff. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into it. Our first post is pretty serious already. I got fired for asking to come in an hour later when my sister was missing, who ended up being found dead. After my recent post to this thread went viral, I decided to share another horror story dealing with an employer. I worked as an environmental services technician, fancy for housekeeper basically, at a hospital in Missouri back in 2017. My sister had been really depressed and suicidal, even trying to take her own life 2 days after I started this new job, but was unsuccessful. After about 2 months, she up and left and texted me goodbye, so I knew what was up. I called my manager and let them know what happened and that I would need some time to deal with the police and family trying to find her. This was on a Sunday night. I worked Monday and Tuesday all day. I called them Tuesday night to let them know I would be an hour late on Wednesday morning because I had to speak with a state trooper. Showing up an hour late as planned, worked my full shift. They pulled me into the office and fired me on the spot for being unprofessional, even though I told them exactly what was happening. My sister actually worked at this hospital before. Security, not environmental services technician, and was fired for recording her supervisor harassing her. As I was walking out of the office, not even in the parking lot yet, I got the call that they found her dead in a hotel room a state over. Went back inside because I'd forgotten her jacket I would borrow, and they tried calling security to escort me out. She worked security there. It was a friend of hers. He refused to forcefully remove me and instead walked me out to my car while comforting me. Too long didn't read. Sister went missing. Called the night before to come in an hour late after working 2 full shifts. She was found dead and I got the call 30 seconds after being fired. Oh, and a bigger slap to the face. I called Starbucks, her new employer, and told them what happened. The manager asked why I was calling and not my sister, after telling her she died. Hospitals truly have an abhorrent reputation in regards to how they treat their employees. And stuff like this is why. Not only are they notorious for bad pay and difficult hours, but it is so common to hear of a hospital taking advantage of their employees. And yet hospital systems are still gonna give pizza parties? They're gonna ignore staffing shortages? I kind of went off on a little tangent here, but my main point is I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I totally believe this would happen because hospitals are just known for being really difficult to work for. It looks like OP also commented, while I can't name the hospital this happened at, I can say it's based in Springfield, Missouri, and is the largest hospital network in the area, and also has a phallic name. It looks like a couple of people familiar with the area were able to put 2 and 2 together and outright named whatever hospital or hospital system in the comments. If you guys are interested in, I guess, reading more of the post, you can find this post in the r/antiwork subreddit, and it's there plain as day. There 100% needs to be more support for employees, especially our essential workers. I also got curious, and because OP mentioned that their other recent post went viral, I decided to look at their history and found the other post. It happened to be an anti-work as well, so I might as well include it. And it's titled, Company Asked Me to Bring a Doctor's Note for a Day I Couldn't Interview. Got a call from a retail store I'd applied to. They asked if I could come in for an interview tomorrow at 1 p.m. I told them I have a doctor's appointment that's out of town, about 2.5 hours one way, that I'd made 4 months ago with a specialist, but I could come early like 8 or 9 another day. They told me to bring them a doctor's note with me to my interview, which they scheduled for the next day, same time. Is this even legal? I think I'm going to go to the interview and ask them what their deal is. Might be fun. Keep in mind, while posts like this may sound fake or far-fetched, that's entirely true. I acknowledge that. However, what is concerning is when you go through the comments, there are many people who have their own similar stories. Like this comment. I applied for a job at another organization once, just looking around to see what was available despite being happy with my job. A woman called and offered me an interview on a Friday. I told her I was the only one in the office that day and offered the Thursday before or Monday, which I thought displayed management and professionalism to my current employer. The woman very rudely told me, "We're only doing interviews on Friday, so you will need to be there." My response was, "Well, I guess there will be no interview." She responds, "So are you withdrawing your application?" I guess I am. I wish I would have told her off, as if I would ruin my job that I didn't hate trying for another job. This interaction told me everything I needed to know about the job I had applied for. There's also another comment. It reminds me of the moron who complained I was 5 minutes late after showing up 40 minutes late to our interview. Gave him clear instructions that I couldn't work Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and those were the only days he ever called me to get me to work. Like, bud, I haven't even signed a damn thing, not even a W-2. Chill. Let's go ahead and move on to our third post. Got offered $13 an hour for a maintenance position at a psych hospital after telling them that Walmart is currently paying me $18.50. It's a screenshot, it looks like an email, for a job at a for-profit hospital during a pandemic where I have to receive training on how to restrain patients while prioritizing their safety over mine. I'll have to politely decline. Thank you though, good luck. Okay. I feel like anyone who has worked in any kind of healthcare setting, the job doesn't even have to be healthcare itself, but let's say you just even work in a healthcare building, I'm sure you understand very clearly just how frustrating this is. I have some very basic training for healthcare, and I don't even do anything with that because the pay isn't worth it. What I was getting paid there was less than what workers at Target were making in my area, for reference. And this is with COVID in the building. Potentially working with COVID patients and getting paid less than someone at Target, it just clearly wasn't a good deal. And I am not at all surprised that so many healthcare facilities are struggling with staffing right now. Oh my god, one of the comments. "Oh man, you want some minimum wage psych stories? I got a bunch. For $13 an hour, you can 1. Get overhanded by your hair by a resident out of an elevator. 2. Dodge flying chairs. 3. Get spit/peed/pooped on. 4. Get shanked. 5. Get the nicest Christmas card illustrated and signed in literal blood. Whose blood? Don't ask. And my favorite, 6. Get formally reprimanded and threatened with legal actions when defending yourself from a violently attacking resident." Again, anyone who's worked in any kind of healthcare, I guess if you've been hands-on with patients, it's freaking ridiculous. I had an interview for a memory care facility, and those of you who are at all familiar with dementia know that it can get violent. This place was paying barely over minimum wage for the position I was interviewing for, and casually in the interview, I was asked if I was okay with being attacked and spat on, again, for not even much over minimum wage. If someone out there needs a sign to go and do something else, do something better, consider this your sign, because your health and happiness and safety are worth far more than that crappy pay. It's getting late, so we're going to cover one final post. I've discovered my boss has been adjusting our clock-in times to minimize labor costs. It's usually only a couple of minutes, but it feels sus. Is this normal? Short answer, no, it's not normal. Altering timesheets to reduce the number of hours worked on paper, they are literally stealing money from you. If there are by chance any young people, teenagers, young adults who are now just dipping their toes into the workforce, please be vigilant. Please know your rights. Please know that stuff like this that your employer is stealing from you, it is illegal. I think that's it for this week's anti-work review. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired between my full-time job and classes starting up here soon, so I'm gonna try and get a schedule going just so things are a little bit more organized on my end. Let me know if you have any feedback as well. I am still very new to this. I actually enjoy being able to rant for a little bit, and I am excited at the prospect of getting to hear some additional opinions. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe and have a good one.